Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, no, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, no, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
Where you go, where you go, where you feel, yeah. Where you go, where you go, where you feel, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where you go, where you go, where you feel, yeah. Where you go, where you go, where you feel, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Squid Junction 92. Good evening to those in America and elsewhere. Hope you're having a good day as well. I'm bringing my friend Sistine with me here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Sistine. I'm basically a long-time player. Just here to cast a bit.
Right. So first that we're going to be seeing is Heavy Metal versus Kicked Out. A couple interesting teams right here. Two really good pickup, strong player. I believe Tormy was on one of these teams. We were talking about this before we went live on set, just to see who exactly we are looking at here. I believe the rosters, one of them has a paintbrush on them. You mentioned it to me earlier, Sistine. You mind catching me up on that?
You're correct about that. On the side of Kicked Out, Tormy has been notoriously known paintbrush player, kind of the first one to start out the weapons development. So excited to see what they do with it. If I recall correctly, they actually have won a couple of LAN events with it. So exciting news.
Yep. All right. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, I was looking for maps. I was trying to figure. I was like on Cindo, like trying to find them. All right. So here we are. It's on stream now. We're starting off with Zones. I believe that is Umami Ruins, which is good. Quite the interesting map actually, because whenever you're playing on the stage, you have a lot of really good control with that high ground. The way you can push into the enemy platform. It's all about creating that fast, that efficient lockout, hitting the enemy right as quick as you can, and then creating that space for the rest of your team to turn into just a full spawn hold if you get that opportunity. But you can have those dual zones, so there's always something to watch for. If a team can break through into that opposite side, it's really hard to kick them out. Looking to see a lot of interesting mid fights, especially as you mentioned, you have that paintbrush, so that distance is going to be something that the enemy team has to consider. But other than that, it is part of what we're going to see on that map. So what do you think going in?
Going into this, hopefully seeing some aggression in the opening. I think an early pick can get the ball rolling really quickly.
Getting that top mid's super important.
Yeah, with the top mid, getting top mid, and if you can get a couple of other picks with that advantage position, taking real quickly the top left area to camp the spawn gives you such a strong positioning that is so hard to get out without specials. So hopefully to see some quick actions and interesting decision making. We could also see retakes from the with the drop. It's a bit risky, but depending on the compositions we see, we could see it. So see what the teams are gonna do.
Yeah, it's always important to make sure you take care of dome. Like you said, you mentioned that top left spot, the dome on the side of the map where the grates are. Very high point of interest type of area you want to make sure you're hitting. Same time, that choke point is deadly. So, like I said, quick action is going to be the big name of the game here. Getting control of that first zone hold. However, it'll just be one of those things where if you're pushing back into the map, this is one of those maps that I've always personally been, if you're going to push into that map, you have to push all the way through. Like you can't just take mid and stop there. I see a lot of teams, you take mid, you get control of that area and you're like, okay, I'm going to watch the right drop. Like you mentioned it the first time, it's quick, it's aggressive. You got to make sure you get control of dome. You got to take control of the high ground on the map because it's really powerful. That utility is just really hard to contest.
Yeah. If you don't take the action quickly and get the position is done, the hold is actually really strong for the enemy team. Oh, we're getting into the game.
Yep. All right, getting right into this game one. We talked a little bit about the map, a little bit of delay there with picking comps from the teams, but we got pencil, pretty standard stuff on the side of Kicked Out, and then it's a little bit more interesting coming from, Kicked Out is in the orange, so a little more interesting coming from Kicked Out. Heavy Metal running something pretty standard otherwise. Quick fight happening right in mid here, Sword getting with the 52, ends up losing that fight. Now that's going to be the big shift of what starts the rest of this game. Junior behind on mid, but it can't seem to find any. Now this fight happening on the right side. Let's see how this controls the zone.
Yeah, as we're seeing.
Big 2 down right there.
Yeah, with the current situation. Oh, good pick there. If we can continue the aggression right here. Sadly, we get taken out by well. Right now we're a lot of back and forth. So no one really has to control right now.
Yeah, unfortunate fall off from that 52. Now this Bucket and the Sword, this Decapitator, are going to be working together. Can't find a pick on the Junior just now. Bucket is surrounded. Let's see if Tormy can find this pick on the Ying right here. Sword manages to trade out, and now they're going to be getting control of that dome. We mentioned this before the match. This is the spot of the map you have to put that heavy control on. Jump rotates coming back to that platform, using that bubble, stalling that space. If you're heavy metal, you're looking to try and figure out how you want to control that space back in your favor. How are you going to be looking to... yeah, Viper finds a really good pick there, making sure to just, stagger the enemy, make sure they're not getting any of that space back. Tormy all the way behind the enemy. This could be something to draw it out, but it doesn't manage to find anything. Now we have the 52 moving forward. Hug Pickle looking for a kill onto Guwapa here. Can't find it just yet, but that pin still holding control of that zone as that left zone falls. Now it's going to be Kicked Out's turn to find the defense and see if they can keep that extension going.
Seems they don't get it. The Bucket gets a really good double over there. Now Kicked Out is on the back foot. However, they can still get the push, like we're seeing, and it probably will go back to the side of Kicked Out.
Yeah, 2 down there is really big for Kicked Out. Immediate kill onto that Decapitator as well. This 52 looking for that fight, can't manage to find it just yet. The strike's not going to be able to get a lot of value now. I'm actually curious to see how Heavy Metal's going to be looking for this next fight. How are they going to break up this little hold, especially when you got that player already sitting up on top left? Viper does manage to go down. Dome is not in control, but Tormy finds a trade. 2-2 situation really in the favor of Kicked Out. They can just keep fighting, but Sabrina managing to secure that pick, stopping that dominant hold from getting started back up like you saw at the beginning of the game. Now it's their turn to get back in. We got to get control of top mid. We got to get control of that space. Tell me, Sistine, what are you doing here if you're Heavy Metal? How do you break this hold open from mid?
I would say they probably try to get a couple key picks into some of the more immobile weapons we're seeing. Getting even just a single or 2 picks can be enough, but sadly, this is not the game for it, and we're going to game 2.
Yeah, that was quick and efficient. Like I said at the beginning of the game, it's all about just getting there, getting that action quick and done. And Kicked Out just did just that. We took over mid. You saw that long kind of drawn out fight, trades 1-1 going. Those 3-3 situations. Or if you have the situation where your goal is to create a one-man advantage, then that's going to be the thing you and your team push. You're going to set up 2v1s. You're going to set up control over important points of interest, the choke points, the high grounds, things that the enemy cannot refuse the idea of giving up. And then, Kicked Out did just that. They took control quickly, and now going into clan builds, I want to know how you think that aggression is going to keep that momentum going. Or if you're Heavy Metal, how would you respond to such a fast team, like, a team that's playing around that mid-range so heavily?
If I am Heavy Metal, I would say in this map in particular, there's a lot of amazingly strong vantage points, or especially that pen. So if you get into a strong position with your backline or anything with a bit of more range, you can hold them the Kicked Out pretty well and pick them into any aggression they're doing correctly. So I would like to see that. Also probably a bit of defense on their backline, so they don't get rushed as quickly, because a simple pick into their pen can just completely snowball the situations into Kicked Out's favor. And this map is a bit difficult to get out of a lockdown situation, so I'm interested to see how we handle that.
Well, you'll get your wish filled soon enough. Going right back into the next game. Same comp coming out from the end of Kicked Out. Like I said, a bit interesting. You got that short range. Really see how we can weaponize that pin, like you mentioned, going into this game now with Heavy Metal needing to create the situation where they're at 1-1. They don't have to deal with as much pressure going in here. So we're going to set up. But it's already aggressive on the side of Kicked Out.
we're seeing an incredibly aggressive opening for kicked out. It doesn't pay it out. Like I said, if you manage to pick them out on their aggression, you can easily take them out and start the ball rolling on this map.
Right, and that's what it is. It's the immediate. But I'm watching the team kicked out, dive already in.
Whoa.
Look like it's gonna be DCs. Oh, hey.
A lot of this is.
That's interesting. Squiffer against the world, I suppose.
Yeah.
that's definitely something. So a little bit of issues right there, I suppose. Splatoon Classic, we pay $20 a year for it, so that is definitely our money's worth showing on the stream right here. All right, so and while we take a second to figure out what happened there, let teams get back in the lobby. I really did like seeing what I saw in the first 10-15 seconds of the game. I mean, it was immediate. I was still really getting the chance to talk about what teams are getting set up in mid. Usually you have a couple seconds, but they got right to it. I mean, that was quick. It was instant. It was the exact kind of thing you need to see from a team on that map. So we're going to look at the game, make sure that when you get that first fight, when you have that first fight, you got to be prepared for it. You got to be prepared for the other team to just jump you.
Yeah. That first flank on Museum is really strong on Clams, as if you're a bit out of position, trying to get Clams as quickly as you can so you can get your first push. It's really easy to get picked out. Heavy Metal did play that correctly though, playing a bit farther back, not too much, but letting them get the 3 picks immediately.
Now going back in, game 2, second attempt, hopefully this time we're not seeing any connection issues. I want to take a quick second before the fights get started to highlight Stara on that Wiper. You mentioned the flank, but really the ability to just kind of take control of ledges in mid, and we have a ended battle. What?
Some technical issues?
I would suggest so. I actually have no idea what just happened there. Yeah.
Oh.
Wrong. Oh,
So
I'm getting word from staff that apparently teams were set incorrectly. So take a quick second, adjust that real fast, and then we'll be right back into the action. Quick second, since we're here, I actually want to shout out man behind the camera today, CKK, doing a really good job keeping up with these games, giving us the ability to actually have the proper camera angle to commentate this. So, just want to give him a quick shout out between games since we have a moment. I don't think there's really any more to talk about on this opening. I mean, the two DCs really did it for us.
We have kind of stated everything that needs to be said right now. I'm interested to see what are going to be the adjustments now with that. Both teams kind of know what each other team wants to do, so I'm going to see if there's any adjustment, or we're just going to go with the same kind of opening.
I mean, yeah, it's fast. Kickout's already up there playing that platform, but Guwapa can't seem to find the first pick. They need to get that going. Pin, Squiffer set up in the right position. Pin goes down early, and now on respawn, the Blaster as well is going to be going down.
2-for-2 situation. Heavy Metal does get an extra pick and an advantage over here.
It's a 2-2 situation, but they seem... Yeah, managed to find a pick onto the sword. Now look, this Stamper's going to keep this ball rolling right here, keep this fight going. Can they find the pick onto the Squiffer? No, they managed to get the retreat, but now you have a player behind you. Wiper caught out very easily by this Stamper. Now it's the goal of Heavy Metal to get their footing and really get the chance to move in before, and 2 down on the side of kicked out. I guess I spoke a little too soon here, as now kicked out is already back in the enemy plat and looking to start their push for good this time.
Good crap from their side. We might see some extra. They're playing really carefully right now with that crap situation over there. It's really slowing their push and giving them time to regroup, get their team, get their cooler, giving them a second chance. The Wiper is a bit too pushed out, but we're not seeing it. We might see a pick on the pen.
And Viper diving all the way deep, all the way behind the enemy spawn now. A little bit of lag spike there, but it's no big deal. As now the Viper's going to pop up the hammer, looking for one, can't find it. Great play there by, I believe that was the Dualies, stopping that hammer from getting out of control. And now you have the Blaster in position, looking to really get set up with this 2-down situation. 3-down situation now. The Sword's going in, the Blaster's looking for the next pick. Drop off of the ledge. The Junior is stuck out. This is going to be a free score for Heavy Metal. I mean, this is big. This is the point where you get all those points for free. Enemies caught out behind you. You have the position staggered, 2 going down on the end. Well, it's actually 1 for each team right there. Now it's going to be 2 down, 3 down again for kicked out. Ying already in this position. Great chance to just, keep the ball rolling, keep bombs coming. Going to get this jump here in a second. And now when you have this advantage, you just have to press it, keep pressing it, look for the next fight. Ying going to look for this pick as well, but the jump out happens. And now I see another jump coming in here soon. Can they find the pick onto the Viper?
This seemed like we were getting it. We might see a jump out situation. Never mind, we're not. I spoke too soon. Right now we have the map is really blue, and we're not. We need to play a bit more on the same pace. We're seeing a lot of going in, getting a trade or at most, and not getting the kills. So we're not really stabilizing and moving into on a position we can actually get the ball rolling. It is the lane kicked Heavy Metal for getting another push, but I don't know how much their team can get it.
Yeah, Heavy Metal's really just looking for the big chance to score here, and the basket's finally open. Now the Stamper coming in here swinging, looking for a pick, manages to find one, trades out with the Viper. Now Ying is in position to take out Guwapa and Tormy. Tormy's a bit too slow to pick up that kill, so it does end up trading out with the Junior. 3 down again. If you're Heavy Metal, you're just, you're enjoying this. You're keeping control of this play. You keep shooting. I mean, look at this Hug Pickle looking for the next shot. Doesn't manage to find the first one or the second one. Now, enemy team is rolling into position, but they can't seem to find anything. 2 down, big pick here from Hug Pickle. This Swiffer is not going to be able to immediately do enough, but they're stopping that push right there. They're like, nope, not pushing into my position. And now Sabrina responds with their own play. They're like, yeah, no, we're actually taking this just fine. 25 on the score is such a big lead for Heavy Metal to have in this fight over here on right. I mean, that's exactly the kind of thing Heavy Metal wants to keep going. They realize, like you said, the focus on this trades, it's not going to work. They got to get together, but Heavy Metal keeps these fights going. 1 down, another 1 down situation, 3-3. Kicked out, finally has the chance to move forward here. They're looking for that next fight. I can see the player moving into position. Guwapa gets the bubble out before he goes down. Are they going to find the pick? Tormy finds the pick onto the Stamper
Crucial
here.
pick.
Really?
We might see this finally a situation where we can start moving and getting control of the map. If I'm kicked out right now, I would start getting everything. The power climb like we're seeing right now, and we might see a really big push going on here.
Have control of the plat. This is their chance to get something. 2 baskets go in, but Star can't find the pick onto the Blaster. Guwapa playing around a bubble just to trade out with the Blaster, and now 2 down situation. Kicked out, doesn't seem to be able to keep their push going. 8 seconds left on the clock. If they're able to build a power, this is going to be their last chance, but it doesn't look like that's immediately going to be the case as the game comes to an end here. Heavy Metal evening that score out 1-1, and I mean, that was a complete shift of the momentum. You saw those 2 teams, those exchanges, it's just trades and trades and trades, and then Heavy Metal realized all we need to do is go 2-1, right? If they go 2 down and we go 1 down, that's still our advantage, and they take excellent space off of that.
Yeah, this game was a lot of scrapping, and Heavy Metal seems to have that defense into a T, letting them collect clowns while they have a strong position in not letting single stray picks get them too off balance, letting them just stabilize for such a long time until they get their bearings and immediately push and get a long push like we saw from like 80 points into 25 or so. Once they get in, they get in.
That's going to be the name of the game going into this next fight. Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy. If you want to talk about a map that makes you go in, it's just going to be one of those maps where this is the name of the game. You mentioned getting control of the defense. Bats on this map, that upper left position for those unfamiliar, but the position name is bats. If you get control of that, you have virtually won the game in 96% of instances. It's such a key position to take control of. And whenever that happens, your goal on the defense is to kick them back out. See what I did there. But it's gonna be a fight to get control of those good positions, keep the tower moving as quickly as possible. I'm actually quite enjoying the presence of the junior, especially now going into this map, because that bubble is going to be the main thing that spearheads these pushes. I think it's actually 2 bubbles. Squiffer gets the bubble as well, unless it's the new one. It wasn't the new one?
No, it's Squiffer bubble. The whole bubble of this map looks pretty strong with the 2 stacks on the map, on the plot area around the base of each team.
Yeah, and then I actually think the custom blaster pick is pretty interesting too. I mean, Splashdown is a special of all time, but triple Splashdown is really good at forcing these trades, which is going to be interesting. This immediate fight happening right here with this sword, getting into position. I don't think they can find the pick on the first chance of swinging at it, but now Star is out of position. They're going to go down here. Now, big fighting chance for kicked out here. They're trying to get the tower pushing early, but this 2 down is not looking great for them as Heavy Metal gets immediately control over the enemy plat, taking that Squiffer out and setting themselves up for a big first push.
We see a wiper on Heavy Metal's side, letting them immediately push out, like I was saying, immediately trying to take control of the bots area. I really like what I'm seeing with the blaster. Nice splashdown, trying to push really heavily into the Squeezer side, not letting them like hold the back of their team, not getting them jumps to regroup quickly.
Quick Dot did a good job at getting them out of that bats before the game was in a bad situation. Tormy trading out the blaster here. Hug Pickle manages to not find too much effort, is now Kama also going down. Ying is in trouble. Guwapa pairing up with Stara. Really good pick there happening. Now, you got the bubble happening. This is what we were talking about earlier. This big push has got to go into the platform now. As you see that hammer from Stara looking for the pick, doesn't manage to find it onto the player jumping, but 2 are going to go down in bats, and this is looking really problematic. Even with this 2 down, you don't have a lot of reinforcement. It's going to let a lot of scoring on the tower. Lead shifts towards kicked out, but now you have Star going down, jumps coming in. This checkpoint 2 is the big fight right here. A lot of the game comes down to how they hold this checkpoint, and the bubble's coming out. Not going to be enough to stop it though. Heavy Metal manages to regain control of their platform, and now it's down to kicked out to see if they want to keep this fight going with Star as extension right here, or if they want to look to reset and get a second push going.
We're seeing a lot of jump-ins into whatever they can. However, they're managing to keep up the momentum thanks to that. We might see the checkpoint broken. Checkpoint gets broken. That's an incredible advantage from kicks out. Now their next push is a lot more dangerous. They don't have Heavy Metal doesn't have the time to regroup and get their bearings into that checkpoint. A single push now could cost them the game.
Single checkpoint costing the game is right, but Tormy being backed up here onto their plat. Now you're going to watch as they try and retake the mid area. 2 down going on the side of kicked out, and another jump means that this is going to be Heavy Metal's turn to just get that position. The crab is ready. You have the pin sitting on tower. They're just going to chill out there, make sure they break this checkpoint. Checkpoint goes down. Now the game is back to even. Guwapa looking for a pick on the members of Heavy Metal. Can't really find anything, but the jumps are coming in. Now let's see if Heavy Metal can keep this position going. Kama in the right spot, but can't find the right aim to secure that pick. Bubble goes up, but like we said, control that bats is very dangerous. Ying still in the position to keep the ball rolling as they jump out and, take a little bit of a chance to reset. One member going down on kicked out. Now it's time for the game to keep going.
Yeah, that reset is really nice. Knowing when to stop the push because you are really down in numbers. Then they get another push right back into immediately after getting the respawns.
Yeah, Kama was looking for something there. Managed to find one. Yeah, that was a really good pick. Star is now in position, chasing down Sabrina with this hammer. Let's see if they can manage to find it. Nope, Sabrina drops off the ledge, but Star is now all the way in the enemy spawn. They're just getting a chill out here, rotate back as kicked out, goes 2 down during this team fight. Now Hug Pickle looking to get this fight over here on this left side. Can't find it as Torment manages to clean up this mid fight though. Big eyes onto the blaster. Splashdown doesn't manage to find anything as Kama gets traded out. That's 3 down on the side of kicked out. It's a 1-man advantage for Heavy Metal. They're looking at this next fight. Hug Pickle and Ying pushing this bubble together, looking to find a way to break it up. Guwapa manages to get out, find the escape route. Sword takes the pick there. This is kicked out's position, but Hug Pickle's looking to threaten this push, make sure it doesn't get started as Kama jumps in. Stara can't manage to find the pick onto Kama. This is going to be Heavy Metal's chance to really put the pressure on kicked out.
I really like what I'm seeing from Hug Pickle, really trying to hold the line and not letting them snowball the game. They're put in some positions that are really hard to push out a blaster into.
Oh wow, that's
especially with their weapons the enemy team has. Their TTK is not too fast, time to kill. So using really strong positioning. We're seeing a last push probably of the game.
That bubble's big. That could be it. But Heavy Metal manages to stop it. The sword gets there in time, shutting down that push right before it gets dangerous. A little scarier than you wanted to be there for Heavy Metal, but that's going to be a 2-up situation for them. Excellent work. I mean, defending that, like I said, Blaster was taking a lot of sharp angles. Look at the way that game just kind of flowed towards the end there. I mean, it was dangerous. You had scrappy fights happening on every other corner of the map. It was really hard to figure out where the pace was going. So good job for Heavy Metal managing to lock it down. Make sure that the last push didn't get too out of hand. It was honestly pretty scary, though. I really thought, with that hold the bat, start finding that pin pick there towards, I think, 35 seconds till the game ended. I mean, I thought that was going to be like the moment, and then 2 goes down. It's just one of those matches.
That
really
game could have
what way the game's going.
Yeah, that game could have easily gone for either team. However, that the mushroom, the tree area of the around the plot area is something that a lot of teams forget, and we see the sword using it masterfully to get that 2 pick on the tower, letting them claw the game back from an almost certain loss.
We're just getting right into it now. Splat Zone's Mahi Mahi. This is match point for Heavy Metal, and I mean, they're looking to keep doing what they've been doing these last couple of games, ride this momentum into it. But last time we saw Zones, it didn't work out for them too well. Let's see how these adjustments carry into the next Zones map. Mahi Mahi, known for the very fierce lockouts that happened early on in the game. It seems we have a ended game. What happened? Got any guesses, team?
I think I saw the teams being on the correct side. I couldn't really tell you.
No, players should still be fine, because players have been fine the last 2 games. Unless you've just been playing with players mixed up the last 2.5 games. Secret Thrower, new YouTube series coming out soon. No. Definitely not the case this time, I would hope.
I'm not quite sure what happens, but we can take this time to talk about a bit of the map. Mahi Mahi Resort is a really interesting map on Zones, as the first 50 points or 40 points are basically played really different to the rest of the game.
Yeah, no, the 50-point marker where the map drops is definitely where things get interesting on this stage, since you got the expanded map territory. Sorry, I'm just bedazzled by the fact that we had so many resets, so I guess I'm taking a second to catch up. But thankfully, we won't have to wait too much longer now, getting back into the match. Everything should be fine this time. I don't know what the issue was last time, but everything should be good this time going into this last game. Let's see it. Or it's not last game. It's match point for Heavy Metal.
Match point.
Everything should be ready going into this game.
We seem to be looking at an immediate fight happening on Heavy Metal's team side.
That's the Immediate 3 down for kicked out. Hug Pickle already in position, taking control of that next fight. He's looking for 1. Can he find 2 on the Guapa? He finds it here. Now it's time for him to continue that team fight, picking up the cooler, looking at this next fight, trying to decide, does he want to go for it? Does he want to look at something? Ying taking control of mid, just paint and looking for the enemy. We're going to see 2 walk in. Tormy goes down early, but Ying is in position to keep the fight going. Guapa gets their bubble out, a little bit of control over zone, but now you have to fight Kama with that zip caster, looking for that next pick. Doesn't manage to find it just yet as the blade goes down behind spawn. And this is just, dangerous for heavy metal. It's really hard to break into this, but now at the expand territory, they might be able to look for something on the side islands, but they're going to keep trying to crunch it down mid. Ying with this crab putting it in position. Now the hammer is going to end up going down. Tormy's going to end up going down.
We seem to have a bit of luck issues, but I think both teams are deciding to play it out. I don't know if they can reset.
Yeah, it's DC, yeah. No, this DC is unfortunately not going to be resettable, but kicked out doesn't seem to mind too much. Swinging back really hard. Tormy looking for that next pick. 2 down on the end of kicked out, which is going to be a de facto 3 down. So heavy metal just waltzes in, looking for that next fight. Guapa goes down early. I mean, if you're kicked out, you got to make it work with what you have at this point. Tormy doesn't seem to mind having man advantage too much, though. 1 going down, stuck out on island. Hug Pickle looking to clean up this kill as the Stamper actually manages to clean up that kill for Hug here. I mean,
right now we're seeing basically a lot of scrapping of both teams trying to just get something done on the side of kicked out. But heavy metal can't just scrap. They have man advantage. They don't have really a lot to lose by getting trades.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it's
unfortunate DC, but
yeah, not really much you can do there if you're kicked out. I mean, that was, I believe, one of their aggros. I think that was Stara that ended up DCing towards the midway point of that game, and it just took away so much of that aggression that they were really beginning to get into position here. Ying did a good job recognizing, it's like, yeah, I can just grab here. We don't mind the trades. Permanent man advantage truly is something, but that's going to be 3-1 on the side of heavy metal. Bit anticlimactic here of an ending. But, hey, game is game. Take your wins. Take your wins and run with them.
This kind of situation does happen. Sadly, heavy metal got a really good early push and letting them go below 40 and just take away the game. This stuff things happens. However, this is a double elimination bracket, so we could see kicked out again.
So while we wait for our next set, we're actually going to take a quick little break here. So we will be back soon.
Where you look, where you talk, where you feel, yeah. Where you look, where you talk, where you feel, yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about, can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
Welcome back to Squid Junction 92. I am SBPC. I'm here with my friend Sistine. Happy to be bringing you these sets today. We just saw Heavy Metal play just a second ago, but now we're going to be seeing Heavy Metal again in winners finals of this tournament. So it's going to be Heavy Metal versus It's Getting Late.
Yeah, we're last game we saw a lot of constant scrapping. I'm interested to say what's happening now. We saw a decently aggressive comp even on Heavy Metal side, so we might still see a lot of aggression. We're going into Barnacle Dime Splat zones on the first game, I believe.
Yeah, you should be right on that. And like you said, yeah, a lot of scrapping from last game, but that was just the kind of play style that came out of the way those two teams interacted. But Heavy Metal had pretty standard team composition, and the way they were playing was pretty tight group together. We saw good mention of their aggressive players, Ying and Hug Pickle. So you have the Blaster and the Doolies, not respectively. I actually mixed those two up, but Ying Doolies and Hug Pickle on Custom Blaster, and those two were doing a really good job of just stopping that really feed heavy aggro offense and just kind of throwing themselves at it. And then that quick conversion of that momentum is exactly what you want to see from a team at this level. So it's good to see that we're not getting into too much scrapping now versus It's Getting Late. I actually don't know whose players on this team are off the top of my head, but it's going to end up being
Nom Nom, Slushy, Gogi, and Ellie. A couple of the EU players.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, it's an interesting thing to see at this level. So I'm really curious to see what It's Getting Late is going to bring out. But the question is if we see something standard, what do you think is going to be the key point going into Splat Zones, Barnacle, and Dime here?
Barnacle Dime is a weird map to really understand, as the lockout is really heavy, but there's a lot of positions you technically can use. So it's typically interesting to see how teams handle that retake area. The first fight is a bit back and forth. You typically see someone on the flank. Otherwise, just a lot of painting on the mid zone. Not quite sure what we will see in this game, but hopefully that stack area is contested immediately. And yeah,
you have a pin mirror here. You have an incoming pin matchup. Mirror. One side has in splash roller, the other side is running what we saw last, Ying on the Doolies, Hug Pickle with the Blaster, that aggro style of this comp, and then with the Gogi playing on the in splash, it's going to be that deal, and they want to stall out the space. But this first fight, like I said, it's a lot of painting, a lot of looking back and forth on the exchanges. Hug Pickle marks a few players with that point sensor, now trying to find a way in. When this cooler comes out, strikes come out really early though. Slasher taking advantage of that, looking for the space, can't manage to find the pick on Kama, but Kama manages to find the pick onto them. Now it's going to be pushing in. That pin is in danger as zone flips in the favor of Heavy Metal.
Yeah, we're seeing the roller trying to play the stack so they can't just walk into their pen. Whoever roller goes down, we're gonna see the team immediately start pushing the stack area, not letting them take it, making retake harder.
Yeah, zone always goes back and forth first big fight, but everyone knows it's the first hold that really matters, not the first flip. But this Splash Town looking to assert that hold into place for Hug Pickle. finding the pick onto the pin there, as well as Gagi going down. Now it's getting late, is in trouble. They have to find a way through this choke point. Roller's going to look for the sneak here as Hug Pickle goes down to a curling bomb. Left side now being contested. Here comes the bubble. Ying is in trouble. They can't manage to find the pick on as Kama also goes down to the Roller. Really good play there from that Roller. Slasher getting into position, Nom Nom jumping in. It's going to be a deal of now that it's their turn to set up the hold. They're waiting out the enemy. They can't seem to find the pick immediately. However, looking on that left side, Ying is getting patient. They're looking for that next fight. The Blaster shooting in mid. I noticed one go down the right side. That's a 2-down situation. Now Heavy Metal is really in position. Sabrina's in trouble. Manages to turn and find the pick, and that's going to be an immediate zone flip right back in the favor of Heavy. I spoke a little too soon. But that was a really good play there from Sabrina, finding the pick onto that sword before they got in any trouble.
Nice double pick over there. We might see a triple. Triple, we see we immediately get the getting late. Might just keep this hold. What from the Roller? Now we can hopefully see a little bit of less hesitations and just keep in that strong position. Good Pavel. This Roller player is doing work from it getting late. And if we just keep this a bit longer, the game might just flip.
Incredible bubble. I mean, talk about the value, you got out of the bargain bin on that play. Managed to get a lot of picks there, cleaning up with that pick, taking the zone, and the first game for it's getting late. I mean, we were talking about those pins being in trouble, the way that both teams just really wanted that charger gone. But when Sabrina got in trouble, they did not have, that sixth sense to just kind of peel back, and I think that's what's going to end up costing them in those fights. Is you got to be ready for that Roller, because they are lurking at any given point in time, especially going into such an offensive game mode here. Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway.
I really liked the Roller playing that. Their offensive pressure was amazing, not letting them rest for a single second, but at the same time playing really well with their pen, not letting them get jumped, securing that stack area, not letting weapons like their Blaster just walk into them for free.
Right. I mean, you watch the way those first fights went, you see that too. You see that fight, you see that 1-1 down, okay, now is my time to go. I have to press the advantage. But that Roller, they just thought, okay, where's the enemy team looking? I'm going to sit in the complete opposite direction of where you're looking. And then, well, you know what happens when you walk into a Roller without looking at them.
Yeah. That depend on both sides, also sharp with the uptake, immediately trying to fire back when they see someone. We saw a couple of picks getting there where either team could have just taken their positioning really quickly, but Penn was on immediately being able to take them back out and not dying.
Right. And, we're going to get to see those pins be put under a lot more pressure. Now that they probably are going to have to help push the objective here going into Rainmaker this first game. Now, this pop is probably going to go into the favor of the team with more bombs. So we're going to be looking at, like there, I mentioned it right there, but it's getting late, getting first control of that Rainmaker, but that's not going to be the first thing that immediately determines this fight. Nom Nom getting in position, they're looking for the pick, but the team peels in time. That's going to be a quick 1 down, quick 2 down now, following up with that pick from the Blaster. Kama getting into position. The Paintbrush does not have the aggro range to stop this left side push as the Zipcaster comes out from Slasher.
I really like their crab usage there, just immediately letting them push in. Doesn't work out thanks to the counter Zipcaster. But now we're gonna see a lot of back and forth in middle, trying to get behind them with the Blaster. We might see an immediate pick. We didn't cancel Cooler, but still good regardless.
Yeah, big pick there, 3 down. Now Hug Pickle is absolutely dominating this matchup. Now looking to get in on the next thing. Hug Pickle scouting out the enemy team. He knows that the pin is there now. He knows his next goal is to get in for his team. Ellie drops down. They're a little dangerous, but Goggy coming in with that paintbrush, looking to take shots. Can't find a pick on anybody just yet, as now Slasher is stuck in that Zipcaster. Roller from behind, taking 2 immediately. Get a look at Slasher's Zipcaster here, looking to see what we can find out of that now. It's Nom Nom's turn to keep that pressure up. You got 2 from that Zipcaster. Ying goes down to the curling bomb, unfortunately, so Nom Nom realizes, okay, just my turn to keep going. I have bubble. I have the ability to position. I see that blaster. I want that blaster. Bubble goes up. Can't manage to stay alive, though, as Hug Pickle now pressured from those missiles. Lead loss as the splashdown comes out. Isn't able to deny the checkpoint, so it's getting late. Jump ins not coming in too soon, turns out. Nom Nom getting denied by that blaster in the jump in, but we still have a lot of positional favor here, and they're going to look to extend this lead as far as they can on this push.
We're seeing a lot of dancing from It's Getting Late, trying to avoid everything being thrown at them, which actually end up working out. We're seeing it. We might just see a knockout. This position is really difficult to push out. All playing around the grade area.
I mean, yeah, they're all stuck out there in the great area, but now Slasher's turn to come in. Nom Nom finds it, manages to get the pick on the Ying, that right side drop. Okay, they're called out to the team. Nom Nom getting in a position, finds the pick onto the Rainmaker. Incredible work from this roller. Kama looking to put a stop to it, but he can't find it just yet. Ying's in trouble now. They backed away, looking for that peel fight. Rainmaker isn't popped yet. Rainmaker shield goes. Now Nom Nom's coming in to swing on that pickup, make sure they can get rid of it. The crab goes down immediately. What a stop from Nom Nom. Slasher following up with that Zipcaster. Now Nom Nom's in position. They're going to put that bubble up soon. Oh, they go down before it's able to come out, though. Saw the way that was positioned. Didn't come out in their favor. Hug Pickle going to go down to Slasher. They're just keeping this aggression up. They're playing these ledges out. They're making sure that no one's getting to even come past mid. They have that lead. They have the checkpoint advantage, and they're looking to hold it for as much as they can this game. You know, there's no need to extend too far into the enemy base and risk them getting a wipeout.
Yeah, they're playing perfectly into that, trying to get key picks into people with enemy players with specials. Like they killed a crab at a Zipcaster before they could even push it, not letting them actually get the resources they need to get the position going.
Yeah, Hug Pickle finds an incredible pick, and now it's their turn to keep the resources going. Eli in trouble. They go down. That's no pin, which is going to be a big deal if you're fighting here. That blaster can't manage to find anything, though. It's down to delayed wipeouts coming out. Sabrina starting to take a bit of right side back, paint back for the team, but It's Getting Late is under no pressure to move at all as they pop this Rainmaker shield. Eli's kind of sitting out. Ying is stuck out top right side. Nom Nom going to be looking for that big pick, but Kama manages to find the pick. Now it's Kama's turn to get it going. They're really looking for it. They find 2. Slasher put the stop to it. Hug Pickle keeps the ball rolling. Now it's their turn. They're going to go right back into that top position. They find the pencil, but they're just waiting their turn. They know with this cooler now that's risk-free to keep that fight going. Ying looks for an early poke. Can't find anything immediately, but now this roller's in trouble. Checkpoint pops. They need to keep this lead extended. A little bit of breakage on the Rainmaker. Nothing too certain yet as jumps come in for both teams, setting up on that top left for a big team fight. Rainmaker reset by Slasher.
Yeah, we're seeing also a lot of Heavy Metal taking a lot of advantage into the more defensive plays that It's Getting Late is doing. However, that roller, again, always being able to stop everything, and the game goes to It's Getting Late. We have match point from the side of It's Getting Late.
Absolutely domineering performance from It's Getting Late here. I mean, they're just going in constantly, making sure that the enemy team has no time to regroup. Special notes that roller, you know, Nom Nom did an incredible job of just, you know, they were hitting every single shot. They were taking every single important kill. And really on Heavy Metal, I want to say I don't think Heavy Metal was giving enough attention to that roller. I mean, it's not like they were letting it happen to them, but when a situation like that's going on, you know, you got to have the foresight to turn around and really deal with that issue up front. And then, you know, Nom Nom just took advantage of that. I mean, the constant swings, Slash, you know, following up with those Zipcasters perfectly. It's a coordinated offense that I think if you're Heavy Metal in this position, you got to pay a little more respect to. You can't just be on the defense all the time. You got to be proactive. You got to paint. You got to stop that offense before it becomes a problem.
Yeah, while they're still playing a lot of aggression, trying to get push going, they don't really take the time to get the map painted and like look around as quickly. And Nom is taking advantage of that, getting into positions where no one is able to see it in time, taking out the Rainmaker in this game, or just not letting them take stock back on the previous Zones games.
And then, you know, that's going to be a big deal going into this next game, Clan Blitz. I mean, we saw heavy metal on Clan Blitz. Last time it came up, it was the Museum de Alfonso. And they really took advantage of that swing back pressure. You know, they immediately just took the high grounds. They got all the positions they could. But now going into this map, Scorched Gorge, they're going to have to be, like we mentioned, proactive, getting into positions quick and making sure that the enemy has no chance of extending with those rollers. Kama's been doing a great job. Let's see if they can actually keep that offense going in this mirror match.
This map is really difficult to play. At first, due to the difficult clam economy, you need to keep pushing and getting your position is well, but the clams are so spread out that's difficult to get something going. So we're seeing
goes down early.
We're seeing an immediately taking the top middle position from it's getting late, trying to not letting them advance too quickly. However, they get picked out. And if Heavy Metal might start trying to see any picks they can get, Pen gets one of them, but the Pen gets also traded out, so we're seeing just a lot of scrubbing here.
Yeah, Eli managing to get up on the top mid, though. That sniper now looking for something. Sabrina and Eli keep trading glances with each other, but we don't see any pin fighting just yet. Now Eli's in trouble. The missiles come out from Goggy. Goggy looking to extend. Sabrina gets caught out by those missiles. Not dead just yet. Kama now playing in a position. Gets caught out by Nom Nom the roller. Great dive from that player. Looking on it. Hug Pickle managing to follow up, though. Now Ying is getting into that area of aggression, that bucket. Goggy manages to trade them out, though. That may be a one-up advantage for It's Getting Late, but they have to break out a spawn. Nom Nom getting called out here by the sword that is behind It's Getting Late. Not exactly too much pressure yet. Kama looking for that fight, goes down almost immediately. The Slasher now following up with that Zipcaster, finds one. It's going to find the jump here as well as a bubble comes out, and now it's scoring time for It's Getting Late. How much are they going to be able to get out of this?
They have a really strong situation here with the roller and paintbrush just being able to hold this position with those sharking areas, letting the rest of their team each to get clams quickly, and their missiles coming out to slow them even further. We might still see this push going thanks to that extra time, and we see a push up to 26 from 100. Really good push from the side of It's Getting Late, taking advantage of their incredible weapons, not letting them just quickly drop down and kill people.
That's Heavy Metal's turn. They've managed to get control of mid, but getting past this choke point's the hard part, especially when your bucket goes down. Ying manages to go down right here, as well as the paintbrush. Goggy from It's Getting Late, not being able to find anything. Slasher looks for the kill, trades out. Sabrina is in trouble now. You have the clam jumping to you, but Eli is looking, can't find his Hug Pickle next shot. Now you have the roller behind you. Can they respond in time? Nope, that's going to end up being a player going down. It's not going to be a very efficient push, but Nom Nom finds the pin. They realize there's no pressure now. It's just their turn to go in when they find the window. Ying caught out on top mid. Looks like they're not going to be able to get away in time. Now it's just the pin on respawn. Can they stop this offense before it gets going too far? Score goes up for it.
Doesn't seem like it. We have another push going. Let's see what we do now. Roller pushing even further down before. Pen going back for clams, trying to keep that clam economy going. And we're seeing a lot of fighting into their plot, just trying to give them time to extend that lead as much as they can. A single push on this map could be the end. So pushing this lead as much as you can is crucial.
Yeah, it looks like it's not going to end up being knockout just yet. 3 clams away, but now you have a power clam and some change to go if It's Getting Late, if they're looking for the knockout. But they have a minute left on the timer. 2 going down on the side of It's Getting Late, though. This could be Heavy Metal's chance. Now you're going to watch that sword move in. Eli manages to get a look at Kama here, not really stopping that flow of momentum. Pickle catches out Gagi, that's going to be one down. Slasher jumps down looking for the pick. Nom Nom tries to follow it up, but can't seem to clean up just yet. The strikes are coming out. This is Heavy Metal's turn, and they're taking it with grace. This jump is called out by the team. Gagi goes down. Looks like the pin jump back to spawn, try to avoid immediate death. They realize they need that cooler for this next fight. Nom Nom dives down into the enemy, but they're going to be faced with some trouble from Ying and from Hug Pickle. Like you said, this map is dangerous. You got all that clams coming in. Now his score is near even. More clams are going to be coming in soon. It looks like a 4-clam game. They might manage to end it here. They knock out Heavy Metal, bringing it back from the jaws of defeat, managing to grasp victory here in the last couple of minutes.
Really like what I saw from Jing there, trying to use the plat area with that slight slope, using the high ground to get that extra bit of range, not letting them break out of the hold position.
Yeah, that's just what you got to do. You know, you got to make sure that you're utilizing that weapon distance, especially if the enemy can't hit you back. I mean, Heavy Metal did exactly as, you know, any good coach would tell you, if you're playing this game, the first thing you want to do is you want to make the game as unfair as possible for the enemy. And that's exactly what Ying did, playing under those ledges, getting those aggressive fights into position. But now we have some momentum going the other way. It could be a potential reverse sweep, but little map of comfort here, Umami Zones. We saw this in round 1. Fights got really scrappy here, and this is a map where you don't want to be scrappy. You want to be put together. Your goal is to get control of Dome. It's to get control of right side. It's to get the enemy as far removed from being able to contest the opposite side zone at any given point in time.
We're seeing a pen mirror too now. With that, the starting fight is going to be a lot more difficult. A lot of pot shots into each other, not letting get the easy positioning into top right. We might see a bit of like immediate fighting on left side, I would say, with their kind of weapons they're running, trying to contest that left zone and just get the ball running.
I think the big important part is top mid. That's always been my. I mean, we've known each other for long enough. Yeah. It's definitely one of those deals where, yeah, you want to win that first fight. Top mid, in my opinion, is where you get the big scores from.
Top mid, incredible important position. If you have someone on the left too, they can just drop down immediately and help you out. It's such a strong position, and you can just help anyone, no matter what the fight is happening.
Right. I mean, yeah, like I said, top mid, super important to take care of. But now we're going to get to see how that plays. I'm really interested to see what the roller does going into here on Umami's zone. Still match point for It's Getting Late. Now, this first fight is going to be rolling out real soon.
We're seeing a bit of a different approach. One pen trying to farm for special and the other one going immediately into mid. That lets the Heavy Metal immediately take position in the mid area, just as you mentioned, so important.
I'm now looking for the pick here, can't manage to find it, but then cleans it up anyways with Slasher. Eli is in trouble. Gagi comes out from the shadows looking to confirm that pick, manages to find it in time, and that's going to be first zone going to It's Getting Late. Now we're watching as Gagi rotates into position, looking for the next pick. The Zipcaster from Slasher. Nom Nom in position. Really important pick there as Kama goes down. Now we're looking at Nom Nom. Can they keep this extended fight going? Is it going to be the kind of deal where they can keep the spawn as the pin immediately goes down? Great pick from Nom Nom, finding Sabrina there. Not in time. Ying manages to slow down the roller, but that is a complete takeover of the enemy's plat. 3 goes down on the side of It's Getting Late. It's definitely time for Heavy Metal to move in. You see them immediately take that top mid. Another one goes down. The jumps are not coming in time for them to be safe. And Heavy Metal now pushing into the enemy.
We see Blaster player immediately pushing into that key position. With that splash on not letting them take them out. We go down really quickly. We might see the fight immediately happen again with that cooler on the roller. We see a trade.
Big play there from Heavy Metal, managing to trade out that fight and keeps them in the zone. Now you have Comma looking for that next pick. The bubble goes up as they're backing away. I saw a player on that right side looking. I think that's Slasher looking to get interested, but Nom Nom going down is
They
definitely
get
going to put
marked,
them
but
out.
they're playing a bit scared. They don't know how to push the sword, just keeping the strong position in here. And we're diving the pen in the sword. Sword goes down.
Yeah, Ying is definitely looking for this next big fight. Hug Pickle managing to keep swinging, but it doesn't manage to find the pick onto Nom Nom. Now the zone is back in the favor of It's Getting Late. Eli immediately taking control of that top mid. We mentioned earlier, you got to get through this choke, but they're playing a bit further back. Let's see how it goes into this next fight. Bubble's going to be online soon. All we have to do is stop the strike push from the side of Heavy Metal here. Ying getting set up into position, some burst bombs to check space, looking for that roller. They find him for a little bit, don't manage to follow up on it. Bubble goes up now.
Bubble goes up after the strikes go up. They don't have anything to deal with it, letting them immediately stop anything that they're trying to do.
Zipcaster from Kama here finds one, then two. That's a wipeout. Heavy Metal responds to that immediate push, getting all the control here. Kama is in trouble, falls to Slasher. Slasher gets two now. Ying going down, but Hug Pickle always managing to clean up that pick, making sure that they're not in any immediate trouble. Good response from Sabrina, pulling a little back on mid, giving their team the space to respond to this next fight. Splashdown goes out, taking out Gagi. This is dangerous if It's Getting Late.
It's dangerous, but we're seeing a not too much map control, and the Zipcaster goes again, using it as a pseudo entry special, letting them get the kill in those strong positions, making them go out, and zone control goes back to It's Getting Late with that roller pushing that the bubble, but it's too late. It gets traded out.
Gagi in position, looking to keep fighting. Eli taking shots over here on that right side. One player is marked, and can they manage to find the pick? Not immediately. Marks going out, missiles going out. Nom Nom in position, looking for that next fight. One player revealed under ledge. They have to break free of that ledge in time if Heavy Metal wants to get back into the stage. Zipcaster just got active. However, it's going to quickly be in the favor of the enemy team as they've shut down that position. Kama trying to get zone paint here. Can't manage to find it immediately. Two down on the side of Heavy Metal.
Immediately stopping anything, trying any painting on the right zone, and that might be enough.
Yeah, that's going to be it. That is enough for It's Getting Late to close out the game here. 3-1 victory. Good stuff we saw.
Yeah, like that Paintbrush was playing in a way where they could immediately try to stop anyone trying to get behind them at this, but at the same time keeping the pressure due to the arc type attack that weapon has.
So that's going to be the end of that set. And after that, we're going to cut to a quick break where we will be back with, I believe, either losers semis or losers finals, depending on how far that bracket moved. Welcome back to Squid Junction 92. I am SPPC here with Sistine, and now we're going into, I believe, is this losers semis or losers finals? I think this is
Losers finals.
Yeah, losers finals. Woo! All right, and we actually have a rematch coming up here on stream. Heavy Metal versus Kicked Out. So you saw these teams before. Anything you want to comment that you didn't get to say last time around?
Not too much. I mean, Heavy Metal played that game really well, trying to space out a bit the attacks of Kicked Out. However, we're seeing a best of 3 format now, so that explosiveness might actually be really valuable from Kicked Out. We might see.
Yeah, I'm honestly quite interested to see how the early lead takes advantage of. But yeah, I mean, when you know what a team does, you know what a team does. In the first set we saw this evening, Kicked Out kind of got kind of lightly. They kind of got walled out because once they realize it's like, hey, it's that dive offense, and you just want to keep him off you. You keep him out. You just shoot him off of you. So hopefully they respond to the rush the same way if you're looking to see Heavy Metal win. But if you're looking to see Kicked Out, I think they can just switch it up. Not switch it up as in slow down, because that kind of goes against what they're trying to do here. But, I mean, take different angles. I mean, control high ground better. Really get the mantle on what that shifty rush offense looks like.
Yeah, we're seeing, if I believe, Mahi resort on Splatoon. We're seeing the rematch on the game we couldn't see last time. To its full potential, I mean.
Oh, yeah. No DCs this time?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I am interested to see this because Pembroke is kind of strong on that map, holding that those drops on Mahi.
Definitely an interesting pick for sure. I'm not the biggest paintbrush fan personally, but I see the value. I think I want to see the dualies come back out. We saw Bucket towards the end of the last set, and I want to see the dualies come back out. I think Crab is domineering on this map. It just gets to do whatever it wants, anytime it wants.
Yeah, Paintbrush essentially just plays like a pseudo roller trying to shark getting this, but with a bit more range, it lets it shark those positions really strongly. So I'm interested to see how they play it on this mark with so many drops left and right, not being able to really retake super safely without specials. And we see 2 downs immediately.
Yeah, Guwapa's in trouble now. I mean, Hug Pickle just throwing blaster shots at it, looking to stop that Junior from getting control of the zone. Jumps coming in, bubbles come out. Now it's going to be the zone going right back to heavy metal, but it's never the first flip that counts. It's always the first hold, and Guwapa seems to understand that. 2 members of Kicked Out rolling right into the spawn of heavy metal. Now we see the bombs coming. Stara's playing on that ledge. This is a dangerous lockout to see 30 seconds into a match.
Yeah, like I said, they're playing really well into those ledges, not letting them go away. As long as they play around bombs correctly, this might be a super dominant lockout. However, that splashdown does let them clear that space and getting back into mid. However, I don't know how much they'll be able to do with that. Squiffer looking at the right side, popping bubbles, stopping them from progression. Right, left and right, Blaster just trying to get something done.
Yeah, Stara manages to find the pick there. Big fight coming out, but a little bit of lag coming out. A little scary looking. We saw this one last time, but the paint on the zone is coming out. We're going to see a DC, but it's not going to be enough to stop the flow of Kicked Out. They said, we'll take the DC and the game while they're with it. Honestly, I just think Stara went to go pick up the round. You know, they were just like, yeah, I gotta go grab the win, so let me leave the game real fast. I'll be right back to pick up game 2.
Yeah, incredible blockouts from the side of not Kicked Out. Using those key positions, like I mentioned, a lot of drops on this map. Also playing really well with those bombs, with the Junior painting over their teammates, not letting them get trapped really quickly.
Yeah, that was fast. Like, that was really fast. You just saw them. I mean, you saw them immediately get into position. It was just. When that first fight ended, they said, you know what, we're not going to hold mid. I win. I'm in spawn now. I win. Pack it up. Go next. Crab Leg Capital, however, is not the kind of map where you get to do that. So how do you think it's going to fit on such a slow map comparatively to Mahi Mahi?
It's gonna be difficult. Keita is playing really for that first fight, stop going immediately, not letting the enemy team breathe and regroup in time. This map is really slow, takes a long time to get into the enemy basket, and that ramp is just in an enormous stacks to break without multiple specials. And we also have a duelist from the side of heavy metal. If they decide to just go with that crap could immediately shut down a push from Kicked Out.
I think we might see the Bucket come back out. I don't think they're confident in the dualies. It seemed like their heart wasn't in it. I think we might see the Bucket come back out, which on a map like this, you wouldn't mind, but I agree. I would stick with the dualies here. The Crab is just so powerful. It's able to really create both lockout situations and the way to break those lockouts. I don't know how they're going to handle Clam Economy, though. Because with this team pushing into it's already a DC. It's already a DC. We have a bit of a problem here. Wait, are they going to play it out? They might. Out. Hold on. Wait. They may have to play it out. Yeah, no, they already DC'd. That might be a play out, actually. Depends. They're not playing it out. I am getting word.
This is the first DC of this game. They didn't replay the last game, so we're just gonna go back into it from the get-go.
Yeah, it is by set. I'm used to it being by tournament. I'm old. I'm sorry. I'm old.
I'm a bit of a newer gen on the Splatoon scene, so this is just how it has always been.
Back in my day, see, back. Yeah, no, I'm used to it being one PC per tournament. You get to have your internet screw up once, then it's your team's problem after that.
Yeah, a lot of changes, but like I was saying, this map is gonna be really difficult. Like you were mentioning, clam economy is gonna be a problem probably, since we want to see that constant aggression. Even like just losing one player on the uptake, trying to suffocate heavy metal, just gives them enough for a single just pick and immediately to break that that incredible aggression Kicked Out has. That they struggle a bit into like stabilizing it.
Low-hanging fruit, but I think Kicked Out may or may not know how to play with one down. Just throwing that out there, you know? But no, you're absolutely right. Stabilizing is going to be the name of the game for Heavy Metal here. They really want to prevent themselves from just getting bowled over like it was last set. Very scary situation if they find themselves getting put in that. But now we got all 8 players on screen here. Get to see a clean game. Now, the question is, I see a nouveau sword.
We are seeing crab. Actually, we're seeing 2 crabs on the side of Heavy Metal. Interesting pick. Like we were mentioning, crab's really strong on this map.
Time is a flat circle.
We're getting flashbacks to the early days of this game.
Yeah, no, Torby though managed to find immediate 2 down. I mean, this is really good stuff. You have that constant aggression from last game. It's coming back full force. Torby looking for the next pick. Hug Pickle managed to stuff it out though. Heavy Metal realized that's their game plan. They said stabilize and control. But that bomb from Guwapa, making sure that pin cannot get into position. Top right being taken over by Kicked Out. This is dangerous if you're Heavy Metal.
Dangerous, but thanks to the blaster on the sword just holding that strong position on the ramp, they're just able to get them out and get back mid-control.
Now Tormy's not even taking a second to breathe. They're going right back in on the right side. Plank get caught out by Kama here. Now these crabs, they're going to be the key to breaking into this next push. Juggernaut being caught out behind, not able to really get much done, so that's the wiper down. Now, if you're Heavy Metal, your problem here is going to be trying to find a way to push in during these gaps, especially whenever you keep moving back. I mean, Kicked Out is already back in control of mid, gaining that position. Juggernaut going down here. Kama looking for that next fight. Now they're not able to fully break out of spawn yet. Hug Pickle being put in some trouble with that sword. Now Kicked Out kind of centering themselves, looking for that next fight. Juggernaut immediately going for it, but he gets picked off by the pin. Good play by Sabrina there, this top left position. Let's take a look at Kama trying to fight with Tormy here. Tormy takes 2, and now Kicked Out is going to keep playing that offense. They're right back where they wanted to be.
That blaster sneaking it behind them, getting 3 of them immediately, stuffing off their push. They have a bubble, they might be able to jump to it. But it also gets called out and their push immediately gets stopped. Incredible play from the blaster, knowing exactly what their enemy team was going to do, and on the uptake on just responding to their offense. Beautiful play.
Yeah, that was an incredible play, honestly. That's going to be an unfortunate down, though, from the side of Heavy Metal. You notice that sword go down. Now you got 2 players going. Kicked Out, sitting up here on this top right, they're really trying to get something going. I mean, they are just throwing themselves at it. They're looking for some way to extend this. Kama going down is their ticket, but the blaster Hug Pickle sneaks into that bubble. They're like, I am tired of your flanking. I am tired of your constant nonsense, and they're going to go down to this bomb here. But the message is sent. Hug Pickle out here looking to stop any of these constant flank aggressions. It's not going to be enough, though, as now Kicked Out finally getting into scoring position. Looks like it's going to kickstart what the rest of this game is going to be about.
Yeah, we're seeing finally a push. It's not going to last for long, but Dot Jr. is doing really heavy lifting, being able to get picks with those bombs and just keeping the mud painting for the side of Kicked Out.
Heavy Metal finally taking their turn, though. They're in position, but Tormy's behind. Can they find the pick? Not able to find it just yet. Still scrapping with this sword. Kama manages to find the pick, though. Now it's a 2-up position. Heavy Metal's really got to get into position here. No one taking top right immediately. We see some people rotate off to left. Failed jump, looking like it. They can't find their position immediately, but the clams are being thrown around, passed around to teammates. Guwapa gets called out by this crab. not allowing them to go in. The bubble is being shredded by the crab tank as well. So now if you're the side of kicked out, you got to find a way to quickly stabilize. Heavy Metal finally found their win condition, and that win condition is Hug Pickle going down to Juggernaut here. Ying saying, no, actually, it's my turn to take the offense, going on this really long flank, holding out with the enemy, keeps the clam basket open with the scores and allowing their team to stabilize, now picking up the cooler to jump back to their team. And it looks like they're going to keep this team fight going into mid, even if the basket closed out there.
That song was really good on the side of the duel. It's just letting the team go back to middle and reset the position back to neutral. We're also seeing just what is it? That push was able to get going to the crab. That might be their win condition, just using those crabs in a great area, stopping them from just being able to hold that side with those bubbles.
Really good shot by Jade there, managing to catch a member of Heavy Metal, unsuspecting to the charger shot. This pin is in trouble as now the scores are open right back up to kicked out. They are wasting no time playing behind that bubble, getting into position. Tormy jumps in, Juggernaut taking out the sword again on the left side. It's just not going to be enough for them to keep the basket open, but it is enough to keep the pressure inside their spawn. They're not able to push out. There is a power clam, pitied out, dropped from the basket.
The map is painted blue right now. That Heavy Metal is going to have to do a lot of work to get out of this situation. They only have one more push going. Termio behind, taking two of them, and that seems to be it. I don't think they can recover this.
Ying managed to sneak one in. This might be it.
I'm getting behind.
Coming in, but I don't think there's clams.
There's not enough clams, and with only the pen alive, the game goes to kicked out.
Yeah, that was Ying managed to get the score there. I mean, that was stealthy score. Take what you can, but a little bit of last-ditch effort. It's not going to be enough. You didn't have the clams, didn't have the resources, so those jumps just ended up getting foddered out to the sword. Really good play there, though, from kicked out, taking a complete different pace from what we saw that first set. You know, like I said, that first set, it was almost kind of feedy. Like, you kind of noticed people kind of alternating out, but they quickly put that offense together. It's no longer about the constant pace and the dives, but it's about rushing and taking every fight in the 2v1. And I really like the adjustment they made over the course of this bracket.
Yeah, that adjusted really well into Heavy Metal, noticing the way they play, just trying to suffocate them as a team instead of just going one by one, using that, and with the junior just being on like taking everything just from them with bombs and constant pain, not letting them get from behind. Just that map control is so crucial into this kind of game plan.
And that's the case, but so quick set right there, but hopefully an even quicker break. We'll be back soon with the grand finals, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Squid Junction 92. I am SBPC here with Sistine, and we are really big fans of Paintbrush, it turns out.
Yep, we're gonna see the Paintbrush Titan Grand Finals. Not exactly the same one. We're seeing the missile one on one side, and we're seeing the Wavebreaker on the other side. Well, Cordon Bomb, to be more correct.
Oh. Always fun to see off-meta picks. But yeah, It's Getting Late versus Kicked Out is your grand finals for Squid Junction 92 tonight. It's Getting Late sitting on the winner side, Kicked Out on the loser side. I mean, we've seen both these teams on stream already, but this time we're going to get to see them go against each other. So it's the one matchup from the three teams you've seen on stream today that haven't really been looked at too deeply yet. And if you watched last set, you would know Kicked Out got into position fast. I mean, they were taking their win condition as soon as they could have it. And It's Getting Late is really good about playing these corners slow and making sure they fully clear space, so that way Nom Nom can go and use that roller and get as many picks as possible. So it'll be an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting matchup. Both teams play in a different style, even if they share some weapons. We might see just an immovable force into a unstoppable object kind of matchup here.
And we're getting right into it.
We're getting right into it.
Hey, no time for map talk. This time we're getting right into the game, which is good to see. But Nom Nom on the bucket. I was hyping up the roller. Why you gotta go bucket on me right now, huh? Going into game one here, though, it's going to be interesting to see how they play with that adjustment. Now, Tormy moving quickly into position has been their kind of go-to this entire game, but with this pin in position, I wonder how they're going to adjust. With Guwapa now going into position, the bucket goes down early, Nom Nom Tormy goes down as well. That's a straight out 2 down on the side of getting Kicked Out, but It's Getting Late doesn't really seem to mind. They just keep that fight up. The Paintbrush in position, breaking on that bubble. Tormy goes down. It's 2 down on both sides, and the zone is going to flip into the favor of It's Getting Late.
Good trade over there, letting them just keep a bit more of the aggression that you should be able to. But this Zipcaster on response to it, being able to stop what's happening right now. However, with 2 down, we might see a bit of something. However, we're farming for Hammer right now. We see the trade with it.
Yeah, Guwapa managing to clean up there. Now, Kicked Out is completely in control of the zone. This bubble coming out as well. They're holding that forward position. The strikes are coming out from the end of It's Getting Late, but it doesn't look like they're able to find much. Tormy finds the pick onto the bucket as well. And
Strikes comes a bit too early without really clearing the places they needed to, letting their Paintbrush just walk in that ramp positioning.
Yep, Star and Tormy immediately taking those fights. Sword Slasher gets caught out on the left side, unable to really make anything happen there. Guwapa now sitting in position. Goggy throwing the missiles out. 2 down, but no position for It's Getting Late. They're not doing anything with it as the bubble comes out, blocking that attack from Goggy. You notice Nom Nom dive down, looking for that pick onto Guwapa.
We need to flip the zone right now. We're not gonna get another situation to do it. Those strikes come out to stop the enemy from getting in, and they let them take a zone back and reset it, going back into penalty.
Yeah, that penalty is going to be a bit of a one to chew through. Plus 68 ticks here is not going to be the easiest one to get through, but It's Getting Late, taking advantage of that position. Nom Nom looking for picks here. 2 on left side. Managing to find
2 bubbles online. We're popping
guys
one.
To Sparby.
The other one also goes down, losing their bubble, their lifeline essentially. But it doesn't matter.
Good job.
With that Hammer getting the wipeout, getting them back in the driver's seat. We're seeing a classic Kicked Out hold. They get caught out this time, but we're going for similar positioning, trying to hold those ledges. Don't let them breathe. However, It's Getting Late responds with, "No, you're not doing that to us," and immediately moving out and using those bombs to clear those positions.
Yeah, Zip gets really good in position here, but now It's Getting Late has to find a way to position the bomb, taking out the Squiffer. It's Getting Late now in a perfect position to keep fighting. They catch that sword moving behind. Nom Nom not able to finish up the kill, though. Eli cleans it up right for them. The bubble on zone, but it's not going to be enough to immediately flip the zone. That pressure is just invisible, but at the same time, all the jumps coming in from kicked out, they're trying to find a way to break up this pin's hold. Guwapa stuck out on the left side. Now you have two people fighting in. They're not able to find it immediately. Eli now getting that pick. Guwapa stuck out. They're really trying to pull this pin's attention so they can get back to the zone, but it's 2 down on the end of kicked out. They really need to find a way to do something here, but Nom Nom taking the next shot, not able to find it immediately. That's the pick. Slasher, now it's getting late's turn again to create a hold and maybe even find a way to lock this game out for good.
Yeah, we really need to keep attention into that Junior, as we did. We stopped the bubble from getting into the zone, stopping the paintbrush from getting in and being able to hold that position. Both bubbles go too soon. We might be able to get late and even the game. Both teams need to paint. A hammer goes in to stop them from painting, and that's enough to get them zone back. The lead does go to it's getting late, but it's kicked out, gets another chance at life.
Yeah, Star doing a really good job there with that hammer. Taking out that 3 down is not going to be enough to stop Star. He just keeps fighting, manages to find one on Dagagi. Can't find the pick to follow up into Slasher, though. Slasher and the team, it's getting late. Take position right back, claiming that zone. Not a lot of paint really on the plats from both sides. They're just kind of scrapping in mid, looking for the chance to extend the bubble in zone. Now Control, you have 8 seconds on the clock. You have to find a chance to get a special, but it doesn't look like they're going to have anything online, even with Tormy going down here.
We do have missiles now. We might see a walk-in immediately now. We need to get something going right now. But Star stopping the paintbrush from the enemy side to getting into a good position. However, they get killed by the sword, and that's enough.
Yeah, it's going to be enough to stop it. Kicked out, not really able to make it happen there in the last couple of moments. With Eli going down there, it was something that really turned a position from could have been lost to completely lost, and then Eli recognized that, managed to get out of the way while also taking down Tormy. Really good save there at the end of the game. Now we're going to be heading toward Rainmaker on... okay, there we go. Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway.
Interesting to see what happens on this game. We already saw a game with one of these two teams into Undertow. However, now we're seeing both paintbrush on both sides. Curious to see if we're gonna see that roller back in that basically saved their game multiple times into that Rainmaker going behind them and killing them before they could get their push going.
Right. Yeah, not really much to talk about other than that. I mean, these two teams just, I mean, you saw that game on zones. It was constant scrapping, constant back and forth. I don't really think I've seen as many fights in mid happen on this map before. I'm so used to it being slow, and then, you know, you get to see that, and it's just interesting. It's constant back and forth. I think it's exactly what we were expecting from a paintbrush ditto.
Yeah, you also don't see much of pushing past that midline on that map, out of his zones. It's typically a dead sentence, but thanks to the way they play, they just try to hold, get respawns, and continue doing that. It worked out some of the times, but interesting way to play that map. However, we're going now into Undertow's Rainmaker. That roller is back out.
The roller is back, and I'm excited because this means it's going to be big picks time. I'm really curious to see how Kicked Out adjusts that, because they've been doing a lot of diving and not a lot of looking at the enemy. Rainmaker Pop immediately goes to the side of Kicked Out. Guwapa in position, trying to get something going. Tormy goes down early, as well as Stara on that sword. Slasher following up that pick. Nom Nom can't find the pick immediately. Guwapa playing to turtle out, trying not to get caught, but Eli immediately running down that left side on their lonesome. They're just going to take the Rainmaker and score, as Kicked Out immediately goes 2 down again. Star not able to stop it in time, with Gagi and Nom Nom continuing to make that pressure happen on that left side.
Previous gets 2 right there, and Sword might be able to get one. If they get that, they'll get an incredible push going. However, they get pushed out by the other Sword, so duel. However, the paintbrush also gets into that and letting them stop it. We're not grabbing Rainmaker. Oh, we are. That was a bit of luck. the roller gets into that position again, holding these ledges are so little, not letting them really stop them. We're gonna see a lot of ledge play in this game with 2 paintbrushes and a roller.
Yeah, Nom finding a really important pick there, though, on to Guapa. That's their main paint support gone. You see the curling bombs coming out. Tormy's caught out on their own, though. Good on Nom for recognizing, they could take that pick. There's the junior again. Are they going to find the next pick onto it? Guapa goes down a second time to this roller.
Only one player alive. This is the opportunity. It's getting late once, getting that going, that bubbles that lets them get a bit forward. 33 points is really good on this map. However, they keep scrapping, the fight's still going.
Really dangerous position for kicked out. As you mentioned, 33 is a really comfortable lead, but nothing too comfortable in this stage because one wipeout can lead to a lot of things. Tormy getting in position now, looking for that fight, trying to see if they can find the pin. Don't manage to find him immediately, but they manage to find Slasher instead. Goggy cleaning up on Tormy. Now you have the Rainmaker in position to kicked out. They're starting to move down that left side, but it doesn't look like it's going to get too far. Oh, they sneak past. Checkpoint actually is broken.
They
the
break
defense
checkpoint.
Wasn't able to find it.
And Paintbrush stuck on the paintbrush on the pen duel that lets kicked out get the lead.
Yeah,
We're going in. We might.
have.
Hold on, we might see a knockout here. They keep trying to paint the pedals, we're trying to stop them, but they keep going in. It kicks out, has still the positioning advantage. However, they go down to the paintbrush and sword dropping into them.
See, the thing is, it's getting late, has to knock out now to win this, but with 3 down, that might be sooner than later. Thing is, this next fight, Stara getting 10 missile down by Slasher. Slasher finds the pick. They're going in on that zone. 1 down situation. It's already scary for them.
Position themselves on the position, not letting them get into the Rainmaker. However, they're not seeing the paintbrush behind. Roller sacrifices themselves to not let them get the point. However, 15 points is not enough. We need to see more here. We get 2 by the sword, but they get taken out.
Yeah, that wipeout happening on that plat was rather unfortunate for it's getting late, but the last one standing on the end of kicked out is going to be able to get the momentum going back in their favor. Jade looking for that next fight on the Slasher, can't seem to find the window immediately as Tormy goes down off in the corner. Fight happening on left side is going to result in Stara's death. Slasher in position looking for that next fight. The 10 missiles come out. Slasher pushing this bubble now with the help of Nom. Not going to be enough to really get anything going as Guapa now sitting behind the team. Tormy taking that fight on their own, cleaning up Slasher. Eli is in position to keep taking pot shots, but with a minute left on the board and a required knockout, it's not looking good for it's getting late.
Keita right now doesn't even have to play for the push. They're just trying to hold them into a position that it's getting late. Just burning even the timer is good for them. They don't have a lot of time. Trying to just lock them out here even without the Rainmaker is amazing. We see we do have a hammer online. We might see some explosive plays going on soon whenever they actually get something going.
I mean, Guapa going up into spawn there, managing to claim 2 is really good for kicked out. Like you said, just run the timer. Tormy looking for the fight over here on the Slasher, manages to find it. Nom manages to get a pick. Can he find 2 here? Finds 2 on to Guapa. Now looking for 3. He sees Stara rotating back, decides not to chase, realizes he knows where he is and he can save that information for later. Looking for the pin, bubble goes out, not able to immediately get control of that fight, and it turns out it's getting late. Actually went 3 down, and it's going to end up being kind of a game over situation unless Guapa goes down. They're running the Rainmaker back, but that's going to be it. 1-1, kicked out, strikes back.
Yeah, that late basically guaranteed them the game. The way they kicked out plays, it really plays into that, just burning the timer, just trying to get 1 or 2 minutes by just going in, getting a trade and repeating, not letting the enemy just actually get their bearings back.
I mean, it's working out for them, and this kind of repeated diving that you're going to see from them is going to be hard to adjust going into zones. We saw how it worked out last zones game, in which is that it was a close fight, but it's getting late, had better holds, and it's going to be concerning just kind of as a preview to see how Kicked Out actually manages to continue doing this into a map as short as Umami Ruins.
Umami Ruins has been on every set I think we've been this tournament, and we have mentioned already that top position. Once you get going, getting that top left position on the hold, there's a lot of things you can do here. However, Kicked Out has shown that their holds are really strong. So if they can't get that first fight on their side, we might see another one of those essential holds they have, dropping the timer from honestly more than 60 seconds even.
All right, we're getting right back into it. 1-1 in grand finals. So let's see what's going on here. Interesting.
See a new weapon. No, with the 96 goal.
That's quite interesting. Now you have a really strange comp coming out from the end of It's Getting Late, trading out that damage from the roller and looking to find the security in, the distance play from 96, and it's going to work out for them. Immediate 3-down position. Squiffer managing to find the pick on the Nom Nom, but it's not going to stop that offense other than, the jumps coming back in. They don't manage to get a hold of top mid, which might be troublesome for them. Now they have to find a way to keep fighting, but a wipeout immediately responding from It's Getting Late, going 2 down into the wipeout play for Kicked Out. Kicked Out has to find a way to break back into the game now, and it doesn't look too good for them.
96 holding that left side. They have the Kraken, they can pop it. However, it goes too late. Now it Kicked Out getting back their position. They have a hammer. They're going to the left, to the right side, killing the sword. They're going behind. Their Grog is not seeing it, getting another pick. Nom Nom really in a bad position. They go down due to getting called out after their team goes down. And we're seeing the same thing from It's Kicked Out now. Getting that position immediately, that bubble, holding that plot area on the left side.
Yeah, Guwapa already looking to build up their next bubble. They're looking to keep fighting on this front side, though. Kraken drops down from mid. It's Getting Late. Manages to catch 2 members of Kicked Out, dropping down. That Kraken isn't going to be enough to really extend the offense, but Stara responding with some picks of their own. Nom Nom on the back foot, trying to run away. They managed to get Slasher in, though, and now they have a split position fight, able to have 2 behind, and it's going to be really difficult for Kicked Out to stop this fight from continuing in the favor of It's Getting Late.
Duel on the left side, both using terrain, trying to get something going, but neither of them can kill each other.
Yep, stalling out for just long enough. Tormy manages to finally find the pick on the Goggy. Now it's going to be
going back into a hold position.
Spawn.
We don't have bubbles online right now, so this hold might be a little bit less weak. However, they go up just in time, letting them get that. Those extra seconds are so crucial now. They don't know that they don't have a penalty.
Big hammer play.
Two down for hammer. It's a sniper duel right now. If Pen wins, that could have been a crucial thing. If Squiffer won that, they could have just won the game. However, the Pen managed to save the game, get in that position. We're trying to take pot shots, trying to get someone on the enemy side, just anything.
Yeah, Cooler goes out. Now Eli pulling back a little bit, trying to find a way back in. You notice the sniper duel starting, but they don't fully commit to it. That could have been a pick, but now looks like Torby's going to capitalize off of that missed potential, looking to find this pin. They don't manage to find the pick on the pin as Eli jumps out. Now It's Getting Late, needs to find their chance to go back in with this 2-down situation. Goggy grabbing the pick onto the player. Stara caught out on top mid on their own as the rest of the offense seems to come into position here. Not going to be enough to get the wipeout plays as they peel away, but this top mid position is really good for It's Getting Late. You notice these fights happening. Slasher now looking on the right side, trying to clean up the next fight. Yeah,
we get penalty back again. Those missiles don't get that much value since they were solo missile. However, the Zipcats are trying to get the value that those missiles couldn't, and they do. Jumping behind with the 96 playing together. If they play this together, they might get the pick. They do. And with this, they actually have 2 down. If they move up, try to kill the Pen right now, they might just get this hold.
I mean, we find 3 before going down, but now Slasher looking to clean up, find the pick on the Star, and now it's Getting Late's turn to hold. They're really trying to find a way to get something sturdy going here, but this Squiffer not going to let it happen. Jade taking the shot on to Goggy. able to find that first pick. Now they're down as Nom Nom is in position, setting up on this left side, really trying to stop the progress. The Kraken coming out into this bubble, really putting up that pressure. Stara goes down, Slasher cleaning up the rest of the enemy team. They're going to end up jumping out for Eli, but that's 2 going down in the zone. Kicked Out really needs to find a way to keep back and stabilize, but even with this massive lead, it's rather dangerous whenever you got players stuck out behind. It's getting late, doing their best to keep these flanks from happening. It feels like they finally figured out how their offense works, and now they're doing their best to make sure none of that game plan really gets started.
Yeah, we're seeing them try really hard trying to get those key positions. However, it Kicked Out. It's just not letting them get them, and that's making them their holds not as strong, and they don't get as much points as it Kicked Out, which is the deciding factor in the end.
Yeah, the zone flipping back to Kicked Out there. So with this 2-1, it's important to note that it's a set point for Kicked Out, but it's not tournament point just yet. They will have to go through a bracket reset if they manage to clean this up, but it's...
Isn't this... So 5? Okay.
Bracket reset.
Good job.
Yeah, no, it's 3 and then bracket reset, yeah.
Alright.
My mic working?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I heard my headphones. I'm sorry. For those watching the stream, I heard my headphones click. I thought my mic shut. I was like, oh no. But back into the games now. Yeah. Really big win there for Kicked Out. So they will have to go through a bracket reset if they manage to pick up the set point here. But it's getting late. Still has the opportunity to win. Clam Blitz, Scorch Gorge. Last time we saw them on this map, it was very much a big win in their favor. They did not at all mind playing the strange pin angles they were having to keep their offense going. And other than that, I mean, it's definitely one of those ordeals of Kicked Out. I don't think we've seen them on this map just yet, but knowing how they play, it's definitely going to be a spectacle to watch. You know, taking advantage of those front holds as we've seen them do all set. Just one of those ordeals where if they don't find a way to get their lockout going, it's going to become really problematic for them. Since their entire team, I mean, this entire set, they've been playing around this dynamic push, this big, greedy offense that just takes everything they can from the enemy team, and it's working out great for them now. Hopefully we get to see a bracket reset so we can see this playstyle continuing to flourish, but at the same time, it's getting late. Might have found a way to start adapting to this, but on non-zones modes, it's not going to be as potent if they're able to shut down these flanks as we've noticed them start to do.
Yeah, we already saw this map with the side of it's getting late, using that paintbrush to their advantage, not letting them get out of that hold position. However, we might see how the Kicked Out adapts to this, and we're seeing a new pick again, Nautilus from the side of it's getting late.
Yeah, they're swapping weapons around. I'm really not sure how I feel about the constant swap rounds. Kind of makes it hard to really get your ground going, but it seems like they figured it out going into this first fight. 2-down situation. The space is in the advantage of Kicked Out, but it's getting late, has found their footing, and is now just looking to stop them from continually running down the enemy. The wipeout, it's getting late, has a lot of room to play around now. We might see some quick scores even.
Yeah, we might see some scores, and also we have a lot of paint on the map. We can just claim getting specials on that advantage super quickly. Paintbrush also getting picked out. I think that was the trade on this for both sides. That Nautilus using their space as well as they can, not letting them really just push into that right side.
Nom found 2 incredible picks there. It looks like they're looking to build the big power clan, but they might go score 7 here, look to extend the lead a little bit. Triple splashdown in position, manages to find 1 on the Stara, but now Tormy comes in swinging heavy with that brush. They're going to get caught out by Slasher's Zipcaster. Slasher looking to fight. Squiffer manages to get the pick off not allowing any further of that offense. Goggy getting caught out here. Now Nom Nom is back in position. The Nautilus continues to fight. 3v1 situation. They're not going to be able to fight their way out of it. Tormy gets this pick onto the jump. Now they're moving in. It's Kicked Out's turn to just keep swinging. They're getting that position quickly as now the Wavebreaker comes out and Eli manages to go down.
Yeah, the deaths on the side of it's getting late, also giving a bit more clan economy into knocked out. We might actually see a big push going if we just get a single power clan.
Right, but
Both goes big bubble, letting that pick into the into their paintbrush, just not letting them really use their high ground to the advantage. Splashdown comes out, however, it doesn't get anything. We have a hammer on the side of it kicked out. Maybe I see it immediately trying to get something going, and we do. However, the Nautilus kills it through the protection.
And
But that
manages to continue scoring, extending the lead.
big jump, getting them a decent lead. Again, we've seen it's not too much on this map, but it's still better than nothing.
Yeah, Kicked Out, managing to get that lead going might actually be a big... Oh, but that 3 down is actually going to be a big deal. Kicked Out immediately capitalizing on that, taking position forward. Tormy manages to get the fights going.
They kill the Seedcaster. They don't have resources for this. They have all the clan economy. They have also Hammer, a bubble. They have everything going for them. If they just get that clan economy, they just will steamroll this push. However, it's getting late, playing really well, getting those picks with their main weapons and trying to stuff them out. However, they couldn't stop the inevitable.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough to stop it. Slasher going in, looking to find a pick on the Stara. Can't clean it up. Stara getting the pick themselves. Now it's time for Kicked Out to keep rolling this position forward. Jade set up in a position, looking for a pick onto Goggy. Can't find it just yet, but the position they're set up in is really not looking at the favor of it's getting late, as Kicked Out actually manages to get completely wiped there. I guess it's getting late. Must have had a flank. I didn't notice. Big play there from Slasher now, moving into position, looking for that next fight. Gonna see if we can get some clam scoring. The economy is in their favor here. Tormy going down even without a trade means Slasher is really in the position to keep this going as the clam goes in.
Yeah, we're seeing also Seedcaster trying to keep stuff going. Nom Nom taking advantage of the slower pace of weapons like Paintbrush with that end lock, trying to punish them from anything they do, stopping them from getting a stabilized position. However, the sword goes down, and without their Seedcaster, their push also collapses.
I mean, we're already next fight. We noticed Tormy going in with that next fight. They're really looking to find a way to keep this position going. Now Goggy goes down. They're all the way back up in their spawn. Little curling bomb to fake out the enemy, trying to get some way to get in. The Wavebreaker goes out, looking for a fight on the Slasher. Can't find it just yet. Nom Nom cleaning up that kill. 2 power clams and a bubble going up at a key opportunity to give Kicked Out the chance to score. This might be game.
One clam away. They just hit one clam. Clam spawned behind them. If they notice it, they just get the game.
There it is. They had the clam. They had the one clam. I was wondering who was holding it. I think someone actually jumped in with the last clam there at the last moment.
Yeah,
that's really 3-1. Meaning we get to see a bracket reset. Both teams' championship points are on the line now, and Kicked Out is showing no signs of stopping.
Strong plays from both sides, playing to their weapons advantage to the most. And Nautilus pick really trying to play it the most with against that Paintbrush. However, the rest of the team able to pick them out and not letting them just steamroll that one weapon.
Yeah. All right. I am being informed there's going to be a really short break right before bracket reset, so we will be back soon.
we talk? Where you been? Yeah. Where you know? Where you talk? Where you feel? Yeah.
Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
Okay. Yep. Welcome back to Squid Junction 92. We are right back into Grand Finals reset, going right into the action here. No build-up, no warm-up. We're just swinging right at it. It's this team. Tell us the teams here.
We're seeing it's getting late and kicked out again. We're seeing that 96 picks again we saw on Umami Ruins. It's kicked out, playing again with the same opening of just going for fights, trying to get something going. However, it doesn't go their way. 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Just a lot of fighting.
Yeah, big opening there for It's Getting Late, managing to find that pick really fast. Now Eli in position to just keep taking shots at the enemy team. On that right side, it's going to be a big team fight for them. Kicked out, really trying to find their way in like they did in that game against... they did the game in losers finals, but it's not going to happen. Eli is bunkering down, making sure that doesn't happen. But unfortunately, we're going to have 2 go down on the side of It's Getting Late. Stara now in position to keep fighting. They managed to get Goggy here. Could be dangerous, seeing as what we saw from them last time when we had a 3-down example like this.
Yeah, however, their position is not that far up as we saw last time. So they managed to actually get the trade and not that much of a push. And we're seeing It's Getting Late actually pushing up with that Kraken. Whoop up, the Junior getting behind with the bubbles. However, the paintbrush does call it out immediately. They're aware of the paintbrush, however, they don't see it. They don't know exactly where there is, and it's behind. It's trying to get something going. And they do manage to find the pen.
Yeah, they find Eli there. Goggy quickly striking back, though, taking out the paintbrush before they can really get any damage done. Stara now in position to be fighting with Slasher. Manages to find the pick here. Pen can't find on the Stara immediately, but now that ledge is troublesome. Stara does not mind at all fighting at the base of that ledge. They're waiting for their full team so that way they can go take that big position. They want to get that checkmate, that I win that we saw the last time we filled this map up. Hammer online. Slasher tries going for zone, but he's responded to by a hammer. He jumps out. Not enough as Goggy ends up falling and Slasher gets picked up later in the team fight. Going to be a big deal here now, especially with Guwapa online.
Yeah, the Kraken online not being able to get anything much, however, they actually do get some stuff. Never mind. The trade on Tormy again, their strong suit, just getting those trades, getting those things. And that position is really hard to get them out. We just might see the game going from the side of kicked out due to those strong positions below ledges.
All right, so maybe not as dominant the first time we saw them do this map, but hey, it's a valiant effort, and I mean, that's really strong performance from them still. Guwapa making the map control look like child's play, Tormy getting constant flank pressure. I mean, this is what you want to see from a team that wants to play this little sneak rush, you know? Every single time they go for a pick, they're either trading out or they're getting it. They are 100% confident in their aim, and it really separates them from the rest of these kind of sneaky rush teams that you don't really get to see elsewhere.
Yeah, they're also playing a bit they're adapting their game plan a bit, trying to play a bit more into, if they don't get that first advantage into their spawn immediately, they're trying to use their position as the best as they can on anything they could. The hold might not be as strong as they could, however they try to just pick out the enemy team by sharking below ledges on using literally anything they can to keep that strong position they've been showing every single game, but in a bit of a more safer way, making them a bit less volatile, which has been a problem we've seen a bit.
I mean, the volatility is definitely something that's both an issue and a strength, and I think they don't mind that at all, really, as we can see from that game. But going into Clam Blitz Museum here, let's see if we can turn that volatility into a quick cleanup. I see that Nom Nom has gone back to the Slosher, going to be one of those things where we're still rotating around weapons. I think the roller was the good stick at the beginning, but this bucket now managed to get a pick on the Stara early. The Swiffer goes down early as well. Slasher gets cleaned up, though, by Guwapa. Now the lone player representing Kicked Out back on the field. Gagi really looking to clean up this kill, but it's going to be a jump out from Guwapa, meaning It's Getting Late is taking this first fight in stride.
Yeah, not much of a huge calm economy. However, we're seeing the specials start to come out to try to get more stuff going. We get control of Plot, incredible push position to get. The Slosher getting up into high ground, dropping down for that clam. However, we don't get the first clam in. We do get one, but with the player disadvantage, I don't know how much more we can do. We're trying to get something. We're gonna trade. However, the playfield goes back to Kicked Out.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with throwing away all your resources for a single power clamp score. It does put the resources in the advantage of Kicked Out. I mean, they seem to recognize that. They're not slowing down at all. They're looking for the next pick. Eli managing to grab a claim onto it. But I don't think It's Getting Late really cares about the resource advantage, because it's not like they're playing to it. Guwapa goes down, and it's also going to be Stara caught up on the left side. But Tormy manages to clean up that position. They were in at the right time, and now it's just Gagi representing It's Getting Late, trying to stop this offense from getting in their face. But Tormy doesn't mind at all. They're swinging right into this paintbrush. This little paintbrush duel happening on the right side. I mean, Slasher caught out as well in the fight. Manages to find the pick on the Tormy, though, as the Squiffer goes down as well. Lead shifts into the favor of Kicked Out, as now Eli is looking for shots, trying to stop the score from being extended any further as the basket shuts.
Yeah, we see a try to get that power jump into the enemy basket. However, it closes before they can do anything thanks to the strong defense from the side of It's Getting Late.
We managed to find a pick there on the Slasher, and that's a big defensive piece gone at a really critical moment, as well as the bucket going down, and now the paintbrush from the end of It's Getting Late going down as well. Slasher on respawn now, looking for team fights, but they're not going to be able to find it in time as Tormy cleans up the pick. Eli trades the player out, but it's not enough to really get anything going for Kicked Out. Nom Nom now confirming the 3 down, rolling into the enemy spawn, looking to extend the chance to score. Guwapa rotates back in time. Strikes going out. On the end of it, It's Getting Late. Not able to find any picks immediately, but Tormy gets called out on that right side of the spinner. Killed immediately as well with the Squiffer. 3 down. Kicked Out is in trouble now. It's Getting Late scoring and having the cooler to extend that push.
Yeah, they also have a man advantage to keep going down on the side of It's Getting Late, letting it on the side of Kicked Out, letting It's Getting Late to just keep going down with the pen, just going back for resources. The missiles comes out, trying to extend everything they can. Tormy forced to go up and getting killed by the paintbrush due to that.
I mean, that's a big pick for Nom Nom as well. That bomb taking care of the health bar of the Squiffer here. Guwapa called out. Nom Nom getting a very clean shot onto it. Tormy all the way out in position, but it's only going to be enough to trade. It's not stopping the offense at all. Jade hits an incredible shot onto Nom Nom there, really trying to stop this offense. They're doing everything they can, but they're just ending up scrapping. Slasher looking for the pick, finds the next pick. Is he going to keep it going? He keeps it on Stara, managing to confirm another 2 down situation for his team. Jade really looking to try and find this pick, but they're getting called out. Now they're being 2-manned. The Zipcaster coming out from Slasher confirms another pick onto Guwapa. Tormy's running in. They're looking for another pick, but they're not going to find anything as they're now forced to rotate behind Spinner. Then they found 2 with the help of Jade. Nom Nom not able to clean up as well. Now it's a 3 down situation. That's going to be the end of their push. Kicked Out now looking to convert that momentum, try and get position quickly.
Yeah, they do have a power come online and also specials in it. The penalty did go down, however, not much going, and due to that, the side of the court goes immediately to kicked out. Getting two, Penn really needs to do something about defense right now. With the bubble online, they still have jumps. They pop strikes to get that bubble out and not letting the clam jump immediately.
They kill the clam jump before they're able to throw the clam. It does not look like it's going to be enough to stop, and that's going to be a wipeout. It's looking rather dire for kicked out. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to clean this up in time, especially with Eli getting to mid quickly and taking out Guapa, stopping them from getting any real paint control, as there's not enough clams on the screen for kicked up to keep it going. 1-1. The game is back to even.
Yeah, we saw a lot of back and forth on this game. However, at the end of the day, it's getting late with those responses into the defense and museum with their pen positioning into the top position is letting them just get out of that situations. Really good just specials too, breaking bubbles so that they cannot just jump in as we. Maybe it's getting late trying to cut out the game plan of kicked out of continually jumping into each other to just not stop the ball from rolling. However, getting the bubble out is a crucial thing to just stop them, since they don't have anyone to jump. That's a lot of momentum gone.
That take care of those bubbles, definitely put a dent, and it's just one of those things where I think it's getting late. It's finally adapting. We saw in last set they were starting to sort of figure it out, but this time I think they really got their idea of how they want to stop that repeated, like you said, jumps and constant sneak attacks. I mean, I think they're finally getting their awareness to the point. Nom still shifting around weapons. I think they're looking to find something they're fully comfortable with, but the bucket might be the play here, and hopefully we get to see some stability from their team composition going into tower control on Mako Mart.
Yeah, we're seeing again the bucket as Sims are settled onto that. Interesting position here. Both paintbrushes have a really strong opening on those stacks. However, kicked out again with their signature opening of just going three people immediately pushing, getting three from the get-go wipeout, letting them just
now making a statement to open up here. Now Stara already on right flat position. It looks like Guapa is holding on to that bubble for the end of this checkpoint. Might be using it to push through this big choke coming up soon as they rotate who's on the tower. Jade popping their bubble. Guapa still holding on to theirs. Two down on the side of it's getting late. Looks problematic. Tormy taking out that next fight, looking to catch Eli guessing.
Yeah, however, the bubble does come out. They do have the sword behind, getting two of them. It might be enough. They do get the wiper on the court, goes back to it's getting late. However, breaking those first two checkpoints really on the first 4 minutes of the game, it's gonna let them have a lot of strong pushes going forward. We do see a lot of more scrapping on the left stack. From the side, it's getting late, trying to push that Squiffer, and they do get the pick on them. Pen and Paintbrush just trying to get something going. However, it's getting late. Does get the actual advantage here. Pushing really far into. However, Pen does respond in time. I mean, skip for that.
Well, kicked out seems to be getting in the right position here now. Jade grabbing back onto the tower, as you're going to be seeing here. This push on the left side, we saw this the last time they went in for this push. A lot of stability, but that right side is being contested immediately, looking for the shot onto this bucket. They can't seem to find the pick immediately, but they end up going down to Stara, who's now got a hammer in the spawn, going down very quickly. Tormy already in position to keep defending the tower as we approach the third check. Solution goes down. That's big. Gotti going down as well. This looks bad. For the end of it's getting late. They have to find a way to stop this. And the tower is now going down and we can't see it, but it looks like the game's about to be over.
They do get something going, however, last second on 1 point. They managed to save that from just certain loss. We couldn't really see what's happening, however, with that sword, I was being able to save that tower at last second.
Right, and it's looking like that sword play was the only thing that ended up saving them there at the end, or at least we can assume so. Jade being fought down by Slasher now. You see that player called out of position. He's going to jump out to the rest of his team. It's getting late. Now looking to get something set up. Stara cleaning up this pick, though, managing to find one here. Gets one onto Nom Nom as well, dodging the splat bomb. Slasher called out on their own. Are they going to jump back? Are they going to keep trying to fight? They keep trying to fight.
We got a quad from Viper there, completely shutting down anything they could do. They do have hammer. They can keep their pressure going. We might see a jump into their spawn. We do.
Yeah, no, they got 3 up there. They're looking to keep it going now. Stara just taking shots at anybody. Here's the hammer looking to get something going. Slasher getting called out. Everyone rotates back to fight the guy, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an immediate pick as a hammer hits Nom Nom over the top. Then swish.
Incredible fucking incredible play from the side of it kicked out, which lets him actually get the game thanks to that.
Yeah, kicked out, confirming that second win for their team here. Really looking at these picks. Incredible hammer play, honestly. That's a highlight reel right there. Just right over the top. Managing to really confirm that one defender. Doesn't look like the pin was able to find the pick at the end either, especially with the help from that bubble. So we're going to be looking at a 2-1 situation, meaning it is now tournament point from kicked out. And I mean, what a Cinderella story, you know? That we saw them at the beginning, and the DCs, the lack of coordination, that really put them in the loser's bracket early on, and now they're fighting their way all the way back through. They might get a chance to confirm the tournament here.
Yeah, we're going back into Scorch Gorge, Clan Blitz. We saw this map before, which kicked out, struggled a lot with. They did manage to get the position in the end and get the game. However, it's getting late. Could take advantage of all that downtime on this map to actually get their strong position, their special use into actual into an ongoing push.
But I mean, hey, we're going to get to look at this Clan Blitz final game. You mentioned a few things about the push, and honestly, I am just wondering how they're going to handle right side. The last time we saw this map, right side wasn't just a point of offense for them. It was their straight-up point of anchor. We saw the Swiffer and the Paintbrush and Tormy just kind of hiding out up there and making the enemy come to them, and I'm actually kind of curious to see if they can get that same plan set up when you have opposition that can actually clear you out here. Like the weapon matchup does kind of make me think they might have an easier time clearing them out of that top gap.
Yeah, there's that being said, their special power is a bit weaker than what we saw last time without that double crab. Curious to see how they're gonna use that, as they need to make the most out of the game. Match point situation too. The nerfs must be racking up on the side of it's kicked out.
I think kicked out is dealing fine. It's getting late, definitely in a position of pressure, but hopefully, I don't know if I saw a weapon switch there. It went by. Oh, we did see another weapon switch.
We're seeing a splash
now coming up from Nom Nom. Definitely interesting to see how this going to go.
That crab is really strong on this map, as I mentioned before. Yeah. So seeing it come out might be really important, and that map control might actually matter a lot. We're seeing a lot of scrapping, a lot of going far and forth between the two shooters. The junior does get the pick in the end.
And Slasher's looking in trouble here, but they managed to find the pick onto Guapa. Now they're fighting around with Jade. Can't find the pick on the Jade. 2-down situation, but it doesn't seem to slow down kicked out at all as the bubble goes up onto that ramp. Goggy gets into position, sneaking into that bubble, making sure the jump gets caught out. But the jump wasn't going to them. Checking the skybox didn't work out for them. Tormy gets behind, though, finds the pick onto the pin, sneaking right under them for that pick as the missiles go out. That's an important trade. 2 down now. Kicked out, running in. No fear, not afraid at all of the distance pressure from it's getting late. Guwapa hesitant just a little bit to move in, but it's just enough to give his teammate the opening. The bubble is online, and the Squiffers is a third of the way there, but it could be enough to get a push going with the help of Jade here, fighting forward. Slasher fighting that pick on, can't confirm the pick just yet as Slasher actually finds a second pick. Goggy not letting that bubble stick around for long. Player stuck out on the right side. I believe that's Tormy waiting to get set up, but no, it's actually going to end up being Stara, whose hammer immediately finds two, and that's going to be starting the offense for Kicked Out. We've seen this before. We know what their plan is. They're looking to get it going right now.
Yeah, however, the climate connectivity just wasn't there. They managed to actually stop them due to that. They get a score in, but they still have that good pressure. However, Jet gets the pick on Groggy, which just might give you the actual help they needed to keep this ball rolling.
Yeah, no, the fight's going now. Stara's already in their spawn. He manages to find two there. Goggy and Nom Nom going down. Stara stuck out below, but the spawn armor is going to let Nom Nom come back from that respawn, getting that pick in position. Guwapa using a full power clam, refilling the timer on that basket. Tormy can't manage to find a trade there, but without the sword in position, they don't really have breaking tools. Goggy looking to try and get something on the Guwapa. He can't find the pick, manages to stop the jump. And now Stara looking to go right back in, but he dies to Stara, looking excellent right now with that push, that offense. Now they're getting into position, not just there. 2 down on the end of Kicked Out is probably going to be a stop to their push.
Yeah, this, however, even if it does get stopped, this push burns so much of the timer due to that just constant jump in, and that wiper that just keeps stopping them from just stabilizing with that hammer and the torpedoes and everything. Just amazing plays from their side.
Yeah, Goggy really trying to find a way to catch one of them out, though, and get caught in the mid. It looks like 2 down on the side of Kicked Out. This might be It's Getting Late's chance to respond with a push of their own, but the lead is rather large, and like you said, it burned a good bit of timer, so they're going to need something big here to actually come back as Tormy manages to trade out Goggy. Big fight there happening on the left side, but we're going to miss it. Their sword manages to go down, not able to find it, and Stara is back in the position they're fighting. Well, Stara is just looking in mid. They're really trying to find something. You notice Stamper jump in. Slasher really isn't able to find anything here, and they're really trying to, but these jumps are just not getting them anywhere. As Stara gets into position now, throwing this hammer away just to give them the momentum. The bomb!
Not a lot of happening right now. A lot of kills with bombs and everything, but the map control is just going back and forth from both teams. That pen really helping. That pen really helping and doing heavy lifting and not letting It's Getting Late to collapse. However, not collapsing is not enough. They need to get something going. With only 40 seconds on the timer, you need to get a power climb soon.
Yeah, Guwapa running right into the enemy there, making sure to clean up that kill real fast. We're going to see Slasher go down again. They're really struggling to find something in this game. And now you're going to notice this Nom Nom looking for a fight onto Guwapa, but Guwapa says, nope, I'm the superior shooter player here. And as well as picking up Slasher as well. And I mean, you're just watching these bombs go back and forth. This map control is really important in the favor of Kicked Out, because it's that lack of stabilization that's going to prevent them from getting in. Now Goggy going up to top left, really looking on for a pick to Stara, but can't manage to find it. Peels out in time. He throws a few shots at Guwapa, but he's rotated all the way out to the other side. Now this player fighting out in mid might be able to get it. The Squiffer manages to hit the shot, but only after Stara gets traded out. They have a power clam, but they only have about 30 seconds to make something happen, and it's going to have to be big whenever they do. Tormy in position manages to take out one of them. The crowd goes down as well. That's 3 down, and that's going to be a wipeout. That is tournament point right there. Kicked Out takes Squid Junction 92.
Really strong hold from Tormy at the end there, just stopping any kind of push they could be able. They were really pressed for time, so they had to go really quickly. But at the end of the day, that timer really did matter.
Well, that's going to be tournament, which means for us, that's going to be our sign to bid you guys farewell. Thank you for watching today. I hope everyone got to stick to the whole thing there. Congratulations to Kicked Out. Sistine, why don't you tell the crowd where they can find you?
They can find me on Vibing System Blue Sky Social. Don't really have any other socials. So Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have socials. Sometimes I stream on Twitch. Catch me at SBPC_. And of course, thank you to Dapple Productions for letting us on. This for me was a bit of a comeback moment because I haven't been able to commentate in a very long time. So a huge thank you to Dapple for letting me on and letting me drag my friend on. Sistine's been looking to get into this forever. We're very appreciative of the work these guys put in. You guys should show them a little bit of love as well. Thanks again to CKK for streaming for us and running the camera. A really great job you did there today. And with that, I think I'm ready to send the stream offline.